Panther people, are we okay? What's going on? You're watching Panthers Post. I'm Phil Perkins. Thanks for joining us. Before I get started, if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, enter your feelings. And we're in our feelings right now in the comment community. It's a beautiful place to be. I got a sprinkle now of some Cowboy fans. Not so many Philly fans right now. I think they're just happy doing their own thing in the city of brotherly love. But hey, if you're new here, welcome. This is a fun place to be. It's a safe place to be. Let me know how you're feeling, especially after the last 2 weeks. It's been a roller coaster. It's been weird. A lot of hate. I'm going to try to add a little bit more optimism because there's been a lot of hate out there for a couple members of the Panthers organization, mainly on the offensive side. But also, I can let my feelings known about how I feel about this franchise, how I felt about Sam Darnold, how I feel about the future. So let's get started. Okay. The Panthers, they lost. They're on a 2-game losing streak. Still got 12 games to go in this 2021-2022 NFL season. A lot of ways to grow. Worst case scenario, could keep losing. Could get a top 5 pick. But at this point, taking a look at the mock drafts for next year, and yes, I've done that. Panthers aren't picking in the top 10. So whatever statisticians say, whatever the power ranking gods say, because the Panthers haven't dropped out of the first half of the league. Anyways, they lost, okay? They lost. It was brutal. If you checked in on the live stream, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about later in the show, it was up and down. But I think if you're a sports fan, any sports fan, not even just a Panthers fan, because you're seeing a lot of people on the Twitter sphere saying, every Panther fan knows this. Every sports fan knows this. In soccer, if you try to sit and park the bus on a 1-goal lead, something bad is going to happen. You're leaving it to the team to just find some luck, get a good call on their side, whatever happens, freak injuries, something bad is going to happen. And the Panthers had every opportunity to just crush the game, to kill the game. Just all gas, no brakes. Maybe put brakes on the fourth quarter if they killed it in the third. This is the only thing on the defense that I'm going to say, and it's not even a bad thing. They still got the safety. They got the 2 points out of it. There was no run back. All you had to do is jump on it and curl over, and that's a touchdown right there, okay? That's about it. That was a missed opportunity for the defense, but besides that, they have seized every opportunity. Dante Jackson is playing out of his mind. He's playing, actually his mind focused on that bag. He's going to get paid, whether it's by the Panthers or not. I think he's still going to be with the Panthers. They're going to pay him what he's worth. The takeaways, the hustle. They finally got to sack the quarterback after keeping Dak Prescott clean in Dallas. They hit Jalen Hurts a bunch. He didn't have gigantic runs against the Panthers. They only had that one big pass play. So the defense, I really got nothing to say. So those missed opportunities by the offense in those situations, and, you know, tell me if you've heard this before. They were put in perfect field positions twice, multiple times actually, by the defense after shutting down the Eagles for most of the game. And the offense, especially leading into halftime, couldn't capitalize. Couldn't even get a field goal in that situation. They had a 58-yarder. Looked like it was a fake field goal. Ended up being a weird, really, really bad punt. That's just not his forte. And, you know, it was a situation where it was a comedy of errors coupled with the fact that they just didn't kill the game. It's been a couple weeks now since I've done it. I was just waiting for the right time to bring it back, but it's the second edition of Pep Talks. First person in Pep Talks that we're going to talk about. And obviously, you got to start with the QB. You got to start with Sam Darnold. Now, I remember I was sitting at work, and the announcement came on that the Panthers traded a 2nd and a 6th for Sam Darnold from the New York Jets. And I thought, this is like in the thick of things for draft prep. And everyone's saying, yeah, Justin Fields, blah, blah, blah. In years prior, it was, Jordan Love. Could Justin Herbert be a Carolina Panther? Could Tua Tagovailoa be a Carolina Panther? Everyone wanted that new hotness. Everyone wanted that new shiny toy. And then when I saw that the Panthers traded multiple picks, they got him back for Sam Darnold, who at that point had been a bust. In my mind, I was like, wow, they must have an amazing pro scouting department. I felt very underwhelmed. That's actually a big reason why I started this vlog, because I had to talk about it, because it was just so wild. It was a curious decision. And I believe that any, even casual Panther fan especially after the Teddy Bridgewater experiment, which is still ongoing and still kind of giving us mixed feelings right now. Thought that this doesn't strike us as the guy material. He's been all right, Sam. Now I'm talking to you, Sam, because it's a pep talk. Let's remember that. The next two after that, Dallas, okay. You know what? You came back, and this is something that I do think is a strength of yours, is that Southern California, Joe Cool type situation. You don't get shook by bad mistakes. You had a couple interceptions with the Cowboys, you had a couple interceptions with the Philadelphia Eagles as well. But after the first one, deep in your own zone, the first interception from last Sunday against the Eagles, you shook it off. You led the team back into a touchdown, chucked it to Tommy Tremble, the rookie. That was great. Great resolve. But then after that, Joe Cool turned into like Joe hot. You got sweaty. Yes, not every pocket is going to be perfect. That is 100%. I think it's an epidemic right now. Sorry to say the word epidemic, in these times. But offensive line, it's tough to find good offensive linemen, good offensive team, offensive line squads. It's just not going to happen. It's not a perfect world. You're never going to have a perfect situation. What did Mike Tyson say? Everyone's got a plan till they get punched in the face. And Sam Darnold gets punched in the face a lot. He get hit a lot. He got rushed a lot against the Philadelphia Eagles. And guess what? It's not going to change during the Minnesota Vikings as well. Whether you have Christian McCaffrey or not, they have a great defensive line over Minnesota. They're going to give you a hard time. And if there's one thing I've learned, and I'm not a professional athlete, I'm not a head coach, not an offensive coordinator, not even a QB guru, nothing. Okay, I don't even play Madden. All right, I'm so bad at it. But one thing I try to tell myself all the time when I'm in the heat of like a intense workout or something like that is, you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And then when you take a look at Sam, you can almost see the wheels in his head turning, Sam. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. I know life in SoCal is comfortable. It never rains. It never snows. The worst you guys complain about, the odd earthquake and traffic. All right? So from a guy living in the northeast, northeast, you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. The way I see this Panthers team is building, correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like they're building defense first, clearly. It is a small E elite defense. I think in time, as the Panthers, I think are in the top 5 youngest teams in the NFL. I had to give it a second look. I thought they were the youngest. They are among the youngest, top 4, top 5 youngest teams in the NFL. I think the defensive squad is going to get better with time. It's going to be like wine. You're going to have to pay guys like Jeremy Chin and Brian Burns and Derek Brown. Might have to let somebody go. I don't know who. But that's in the future. But I think this defense is going to get better with time. The offense is almost like add water, shake, and it could be ready. I think there are a couple pieces, obviously, on the offensive line that need a whole lot of work. I think, but when that happens, when that offensive line gets rebuilt, whether it's in, via trade, which we're going to talk about later, whether it's in the draft, we're not going to talk about that right now because I don't know anything, but I have been on some mock draft simulators right now. But once the offense catches up with the defense, at that point, the defense will be a capital E elite plus defense. Once the offense goes from like the D plus that it is into a B plus offense, that's when I think that the Sam Darnold experiment as a glorified placeholder will end. And that's when Scotty and Tep opens up the wallet and open up the draft capital and like, this is the window now. It is firmly open now. Right now, this team, it's not a Super Bowl contender. It's just not. I still think they're going to make the playoffs. I still think they're going to make the wild card. It's an expanded wild card. I think it's going to happen. I think that's when the Panthers pull 2015 Denver Broncos or last year's Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where they make a trade for a either disgruntled or whatever veteran quarterback, whoever it is, looking at you, Aaron Rodgers, get him and plop him into this team that is Super Bowl ready. He is the stick that will stir the drink, that'll make it good to go to try to get that Super Bowl, try to get that Lombardi, try to go 1 for 3 in Super Bowls for this Carolina Panthers team. That's what I think. I think that's what's going down. The next pep talk, it's going to be a lot on the offense, is going to be towards the offensive line. I'm not going to hate too much. I'm not an offensive line guru. I've already said I'm not a tape jock. I'm not a stats guy. I do like to crunch some numbers, not going to lie. And I will say, I think it was PFF that said that Carolina ranks second last in pass protection. And that is god awful. I do have some promise in our tackle positions. Obviously, Taylor Moton. I think Brady Christensen might need to be flopped. There's an offensive line expert who tweeted that's been shared a bunch on the Twitter sphere and Panther Nation on Twitter. They said, why don't you just flip him? Because there is video going around of someone who does like to crunch tape of Taylor Moton, who was being paid to be a franchise right tackle, playing left side, and he just kind of looks lost. It's like asking someone who's right-handed to play left-hand, to eat right-handed to eat left-handed. It's just not going to work. You're going to get messy, and it was messy on the field. So maybe try to flip those. But it's that guard, center, guard combination. It's just not working. Guys, shape up. Literally, Deontay Brown, shape up, okay? We need help. You guys are getting punched right in the middle of the face. You guys knocked out. Sam knocked out, and it makes everybody's job harder. And like I said before, offensive line play in the NFL, good offensive line play in the NFL is tough to find. But just have some pride. Have a little bit of pride. Think about it. You're away for 2 weeks. You come home to the bank. It was mixed. It sounded like a majority of Eagle fans were there. And then you lose in front of your fans. Okay? Prices have gone up for tickets. I'm not going to games right now because, flights and all that jazz. But you're letting people down. All right, to CMC now. Before I talk to Christian personally, fans, I think we're overthinking things. Yes, he's getting paid a lot of money. He wasn't getting paid a lot of money just because he was drafted at a top 10 pick. He was paid a lot of money because he does amazing things on the field when he's healthy. I get that. Last year was weird. Personally, I think he missed more games than he wanted. I think it was more so they held him back because they didn't want to risk injury on a team that's just not going to go very far. It was the first year of a rebuild, brand new coach, brand new offensive coordinator. Hey, man, you're hurt. Guess what? We don't want you to risk it for this team. At the end of the day, you need blue chip players, okay? And whether it's at running back, whether it's a tight end, right guard, free safety, whatever, you need blue chip players. And right now, it is very clear the Panthers offense miss their blue chip player. You can change the channel if you're saying, no, running backs are devalued, yada, yada, yada. He's not just a running back, guys. He is a wide receiver as well. He had arguably the best wide receiver workout during the draft in his draft year. He is both. He is a weapon. That's who he is. And without him, it just looks weird. We talk about how maybe Aaron Rodgers in a year or two is that stick that stirs the drink. Christian McCaffrey is the jug that holds it all together. He's the jug that holds the whole offense together, guys. Without Christian McCaffrey, the offensive line looks worse. Sam Darnold looks worse. Guys don't get their touches. Guys aren't open because they're doubling up DJ Moore, or they're doubling up Robbie Anderson or someone like that, or they can afford to just rush Sam as much as he can because who's he going to dump it off to? At this point, Chuba Hubbard, while he had an amazing game last week, and I hope he gets a ton more touches when Christian does come back, he just doesn't have the hands. He also lets the first guy bring him down in the open field. He hasn't made a guy miss as of yet, and that's okay. So when you get back, only come back if you feel 120%. That's a weird thing with soft tissue injuries. It's not like a bone. When it heals, it actually gets stronger. Muscles, this is my science background a little bit coming back. When they heal, they get more elastic, more stretchy, okay? More prone to injury. And I know he has the best help possible, but don't come back if you're not healthy, okay? Fan Me wants you to come back. I just bought your jersey. At the same time, I don't want you to come back, get hurt, and we don't see you for another month or more. When you do come back, if you do feel 120% this week against the Minnesota Vikings, come back with a vengeance. Let people know, hey, I know I missed out on showing the whole country on Thursday Night Football against the Texans that I am the best running back, weapon, offensive weapon in the league, and then I blew a tire. Here I am again against a great defensive line, pretty good defense. I'm going to let you guys know what you're missing. Now to this game against the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Panthers defense have their work cut out for them, but I think they have for the last couple of weeks. They played a dynamic, arguably Super Bowl contending offense with the Dallas Cowboys. They had Jalen Hurts, a dual threat quarterback with a pretty good rookie wide receiver in Devontae Smith. And now they have Kirk D. Cousins, who is not a dual threat quarterback, not in the slightest. He is a pure pocket passer. And we have a plethora of DBs right now. That's like this third time I've said the word plethora in this episode, but a ton of DBs. You're going to have CJ Henderson with another week of practice under his belt. AJ Bouye, I think, played great against Philly. You got Keith Taylor, who was a surprise last week as well. I thought he played great. And of course, you have Dante Jackson. What do I say about him? He could be a Pro Bowler this year. So I think they're going to be very well equipped to shut down Adam Thielen and Jefferson. I think they're going to shut those guys down. I'm not afraid of any of the tight ends for the Minnesota Vikings, but if we want to take a look back 2 weeks to how the Panthers got rushed all over on by the Dallas Cowboys, I'm not comparing Dalvin Cook with Zeke, but he is kind of like that Christian McCaffrey mold. Of course, during the draft season, that's who a lot of people were determining, do you get a Christian McCaffrey or do you get Dalvin Cook? But he's a little hobbled right now. I haven't gotten an update on how he's doing, but the other running back that they have with the Minnesota Vikings and Alexander Madison did fine against the Detroit Lions. The winless Detroit Lions, by the way. On the offensive side, woo! There are a couple guys here who give me nightmares a little bit. You got Patrick Peterson, a former Arizona Cardinal, who I felt had great battles against Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers back in the day. He's on this squad. I think he's rocking a single digit now. I think he's rocking number 7. Back in his LSU days, I think he could give us some problems. I just read his name and I could just see him picking off Sam, doing a wily veteran move. You got Brashawn Breeland, who should have been a Carolina Panther, but that didn't work out for whatever reason. He ended up winning a Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs. He's on this squad. I think he can give us some problems as well. But the defensive line is the number one issue, and that's another reason why Christian McCaffrey coming back, if he does come back, it's going to be huge for this offensive line help. So yeah, sound like a broken record. I think the game is going to be won and lost in the trenches. The Panthers' offensive line, which is in shambles right now, maybe they flip Taylor Moton and Brady Christensen. Maybe they give Deontay Brown a shot, but that's where it's going to be won and lost. Our offensive line versus their defensive line. If Christian McCaffrey comes back, I feel better. I feel a lot better. I'm going to say Panthers are going to win 25-8. And they're going to go to 4-2. And people are going to shut up. And we're just going to have a good time. Okay? They're just going to have fun. And then the next week after that, it should be a gimme game. Because at this point, Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley are not playing for the New York Giants. That should be another win. And then people should start feeling good about themselves a little bit more. All right? So that's what I'm saying. That was my Panthers prediction. See you guys on Sunday. I don't know about the live streams. They're 3 hours. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I'm a dog owner. It's a lot of time. 3 hours plus. I was worried if we were going to overtime last week. So I think what I might do is I'm obviously still going to watch the game. I'm going to tweet the heck about it at Panthers Post #1 for Cam. But then after that, I'm going to get straight right here into the studio. And I'm just going to give you my instant reactions. Boom, boom, boom. And it'll be out that night. Let me know what you guys prefer after that. Do you prefer the shortened 15-minute, 17-minute videos, or do you prefer 3+ hours? Let me know. Spread the word. Panthers Post at Panthers Post #1. Subscribe, like, comment. See you guys on Sunday.